I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling quite blissful this evening. What a victory over the Knights. Welcome back to Oceanic Nationals presented by Samsung. We are, of course, halfway through the night here for Playday 2. Big win and a big brain too for Sky. Congratulations. He will be first with the predictions at the end of the night. He was ballsy enough to do something a little bit different. Moving forward, though, coming up is, of course, Chiefs versus RoflcopterGG, who didn't have the best start yesterday, guys. They lost 3-7 to LFO, although I will say an improved LFO.
Yeah, Ruffle off to a little bit of a slow start. They came out of the gates really strong in stage 1. Bunch of, new gunners making their way through the qualifiers, making a bit of a moment or a bit of a stand, I guess, in the Oceanic region. But stage 2 has not started off beautifully for them thus far. They'll be looking to bounce back against the Chiefs. Looking at the RoflcopterGG lineup, a couple of familiar names now in the region. Cynic's heading up that team from a coaching department, and I don't know what's gone wrong for Ruffle. I guess maybe we might get a bit more of an insight in Playday number 2, whether or not Playday 1 was a bit of a blip on the radar or not.
Yeah, look, it's definitely intriguing the way that they did end up losing to LFO in the fashion that they did, but yeah, they're a team that, of course, can bounce back, and Chiefs themselves aren't exactly. I mean, are they really in the best form? Yeah, 7-2 over Order. A bit of a shaky start in APAC South, so we're still a little questionable about them, just in the same way that we're questionable about RoflcopterGG at the moment. But I think they've got the chops to bounce back, guys. I think they're more than capable. I just don't know if it's going to be this game.
I'm literally like leaning in, trying to see the background of Campo, that art on the wall, like the reason that actually looks sick. I don't know exactly what it is, and if that's even his, but yeah, that's really cool. Completely unrelated to this. Oh, we get full screen.
Oh, wow.
Have a look at that. See, look, what is that on the left? I don't know exactly what that is, what I'm looking at, but it looks sick. So yeah, shout out to Campo, and thanks production. But yeah, Ruffle, who knows?
I just noticed the Playboy.
What? The what?
The Playboy.
What's that?
It's the deodorant.
Yeah. So Campo smells nice. Is that what you're trying to say?
100%. Anyway, let's go look at their opponents in this game. It's going to be the Chiefs, who, of course, beat Order yesterday 7-2. I don't know how much more we really want to speak about these guys in terms of how good they are, or I don't know, any question marks coming into this game? Is it full expectations that they should be able to deal with RoflcopterGG?
The only question I have for the Chiefs is when they're going to send me a jersey, because that jersey does look pretty sick, and I wouldn't mind one.
I'm still waiting for mine as well.
You can hit me up as at GuzCast on Twitter in the DMs, or at XenoxCast as well. I'm sure he would wear one.
I would. Look, I've got my Team Liquid jersey, and while that didn't make an appearance at SI, that's only because I misplaced it. So if you send me one, I will make sure it is used as much as possible. It is really one of the better looking jerseys and one of the better looking teams, led by, of course, Digital front row and center with that gorgeous smile. Look, these guys are obviously top of the table right now, fresh off the back of their stage 1 win for OCN, and it's all about, repeating and defending and just doing more of the same. Also, shout out to God Legion for his fantastic chair.
Yeah, that's has that got your name? Did you sign his chair?
He got me to come over and etch my name into it. Yes, I know. It is what it is.
Wow, that is that's very impressive. I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, Chiefs they've always been a good team. It feels like they just haven't been able to quite take that big next step where we go into every matchup and go, boom, Chiefs win, like 100%. Even this matchup, there's a part of me that is still a little bit scared we might see some of those Chief choke antics. So I'm just going to hold with bated breath at the moment, not make a massive call that the Chiefs are going to easily run away with this one, because you just never know. Maybe yesterday for Ruffle was just an off day and they could bounce back pretty hard and catch the Chiefs off guard.
Yeah, look, I also feel like maybe in a way we're trying to make this sound closer than it really should be. I think in reality, Chiefs go into this as hard favorites, and they probably should be. And as you said, it's just a matter of, can they now as a team be that team that's consistently reliable in these sort of matchups? And that's no slight to Ruffle. That's just sort of highlighting how good this Chiefs roster has become. Let's go and have a look at the map vetoes and see where this best of 1 is going to be heading for this game. So far, we've had a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah.
And we are going to continue that trend with one of my favorite maps in Chalet.
Yeah, I love Chalet. We've both been enjoying it quite a bit, actually, I think. We've seen some really good innovation, particularly around 6 Invitational. We saw it see quite a bit of gameplay. There is really a fundamentally, well-established meta now on this map. Every objective has sort of these staple positions that are being held. I guess that's going to be switched up a little bit. If we see Flores in play and not banned out, we could really see the map actually opened up even more, keeping in mind that this is already an attacker-sided map, which is very rare for a new map in the pool. And it could even open up even bigger. So Chalet, it's always crazy. It's always a lot of fun. And yeah, I think we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out exactly.
Do you think it favors any of the two teams? Do you think anyone's happier than the other? You can answer that in a minute, because I'll do the standard hype intro that everyone loves. Probably no one. RoflcopterGG versus Chiefs over towards Chalet here for our third game of Playday 2 of Oceanic Nationals. The best in business. It's the most fun. Let's be real. We don't need to hide it. We don't need to sugarcoat it. But back over to my question, Guz. Do you think there's one of these two teams who's happier than the other in terms of the map?
In terms of team play styles, probably neither really, particularly, to be honest. I feel like sometimes often Ruffle can actually be quite aggressive and quite proactive in their attacks. I would say that the question more so to be asked is who's happier starting on this map? And for me, it would probably have to be the Chiefs. They're on statistically the favored side of the attack, so they'll probably be quite comfortable. We have actually seen them previously struggle on Chalet attacks. I remember distinctly back in stage 1, I'm like 99% sure they were having a couple of issues on this map in particular, but they've had time to tidy that up. And judging by both teams' body language, in fact, they're looking pretty chilled out. This looks like they're just about to jump into a cash game. So,
oh, jeez. I don't know about that one. Look, I love the player cams. Absolutely love it. But again, it's not like you're expecting to see these guys overreacting, right? It's just almost the realization of how locked in these players are mentally and physically, apparently. That, it's just all about keeping that straight face, acting cool. Digital, though, looks like he's about to crack a joke.
He always does.
I think that's his normal face, right?
Yeah, I would love to have Digital as a teammate, even if he was going 0-10 on every single game. I feel like just his comms alone would be worth the sacrifice. The mental boost would just be incredible.
Master Bedroom Office will be our first site here for Chalet. RoflcopterGG on the defense, Chiefs on the attack. The last time we saw this, of course, was over towards SI. Don't believe have we seen this at APAC South? I was hosting that night, so I'm not going to lie. I wasn't exactly watching every single moment of every single minute. But what's interesting about this map to me was sort of the transition of where we thought certain sites were favored by certain positions. So, like, for example, basement, we were saying for ages, and from what we were seeing, was that it wasn't great for the defenders, right? Like, it was all about the attackers being able to pretty much take the site with ease. And yet at SI, it didn't always play out that way, right? And then the same thing as well with other sites. And what we ended up finding was, Master Office was a bit more of that 50-50 site. You look at, Bar Games is sort of the site where you typically wanted to go as a defender, yet at times it was only like a 50% win rate. It wasn't as great as we thought it would be. And this site in particular ended up being the site, Guz. Kitchen. We originally thought it was never going to be played, and it wasn't going to be great, and suddenly teams have figured out, just hold above, and it's fine. It's a good site.
Yeah. Basically, every site can be held, at least to some degree, but again, overall, the overarching statistic is that this does lean into the side of the attackers. Now, with Nomad and Thatcher banned out, I don't think that's really going to hamper that statistic all that much, because Thatcher is an expected ban these days, and Nomad can be countered by teams that are willing to go the extra mile, or the Nomad ban can be countered if teams are willing to go the extra mile. For example, Worthy has decided to jump onto the Zero, and whilst you don't have necessarily a hard flank watch in the sense that you can crowd control the opposition with air jabs or the track stingers from a gridlock, for example, if you are droning effectively, you can use the Argus launcher, set up the cameras, and you know where everyone's going to be at all times, at least on those flanks. So we'll have to wait and see whether that's effective. The roam clear isn't, though. Bouncing inside of the basement does find the first there. It's Digital taken off the board. So, that's the one player that I wouldn't mind seeing off the board. Digital has got absolutely fantastic communication skills. The Chiefs are used to him dying first, so this is not an unfamiliar territory for him.
Well, maybe on attack, but on defense, usually he's the last one alive.
Yeah.
Not even joking either,
He baits
right?
the rest of the team.
Oh, jeez. Minute and a half. Chiefs lose Dig early on. He can, of course, flick through those cameras. You can actually, of course, now see it. It's actually switching between the drones and the Argus camera from Worthy. Good start for RoflcopterGG. That's what I like to say. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's only the first round. There's a long, long way to go. It's only one kill. Can't read too much into it.
Fast thinks that there's someone above here. I don't know whether they actually have the intel that Jerome may well have seen that player above. I think the defender is situated inside of bathroom. In fact, it's hot shot in the hot tub. Gunfights rain out. Gold Legion takes a little bit of damage from the balcony. Fisho guy has fallen. The diffuser as well. Boydie holding that cross. The Chiefs trying to take Stellarium. But it's a tough task.
Yeah, not easy. Being able to go and get the pick up onto Fisher guy. Hotshot playing this well over in bathroom. 30 seconds left on the clock. Chiefs still have yet to even pick up this diffuser back up from the floor. Just trying to clear out bathroom. They get two back though. Boydie and OJ have been eliminated. Now makes it a 3 versus 3. Hotshot down in the bathtub as well. And Chiefs are actually making work of this. They are actually turning this around, Guz. Although Bouncing, big on site, is able to get another one. 10 seconds left. And they're just going to have to send it in, but they're both so low. One bullet each will eliminate Worthy and Fisher guy. Worthy gets the pick onto Campo. Bouncing's low as well. Everyone's low. Time, he needs to stop. Plant goes down though. He got the down onto Worthy. As I said, he didn't really need that much to land. Bouncing as soon as he swings. Oh, he swings perfectly. The head of Fisher guy. And he wins the round for Roflcopter. A messy one, but hey, a fun one.
It's a quad for Bouncing. A huge round to kick things off for the defense. Roffle to win that round. The MP5 does its job. Wow, a solid swing there in the post plan. It was an awkward round. That engagement inside of bathroom in particular for Hotshot, very, very messy, and he doesn't quite hold on for long enough. The wall got delayed. The Argus camera was used to breach that wall open, but in the end, it was to the demise of the attack, and the Chiefs unable to hold on.
Really good play for Roflcopter down the stretch. 4K, and ultimately a big round win, opening round win, especially on the defense. I don't know, maybe we didn't touch on it enough there, but the fact that it's a defensive round win for Roflcopter, you want to be able to take as many as you can get, Guz. In those sort of like little 50-50 scenarios, coin flipped sort of battles, if you will, if you're winning them on the defensive side, your chances of winning the map increase exponentially versus, say, if it's, you know, on the attack. So for the Chiefs, you kind of lose a round you're almost expected to win in a way.
I have an important question, Xenox. Are we allowed to be a little bit biased towards the Chiefs at all? Is that allowed?
No, not.
Well, they just added us on Twitter and said, all right, at Guz, at Xenox, we heard you. So now we got to hope that we can spin.
Oh. With that in mind, the Chiefs, of course, they look great. While they didn't
that
win
was complete luck. That first round was just complete luck there from Roffle. Unbelievable.
Look, they'll have Digital back this game. He won't die immediately. Chiefs will be fine. They've got 5 players alive. Things are looking good in this second round for the Chiefs. No, but being serious here, it wasn't ideal losing Digital that early on, especially for an attacking team. It's never easy then pushing on to the sites when you're down players, right? And then they were down players for the majority of that round. That's full credit to Roflcopter. But for Chiefs now, it's just about being a little bit more careful, especially Dig as he makes his way into Chalet. It is going to be about games for this second round. And this is the one that statistically, depending on the region and depending, honestly, the time of day, is usually pretty good for the defenders. But sometimes it can be, you know, undone.
I'm scared. I feel like we're watching a horror movie at the moment. Who's going to jump out of the shadows and kill Digital? He is being droned down below, so we should be safe playing that sledge roll, and we'll be looking to open up some lines of sight. 2 grenades as well in his pockets that can be used as well to effectively clear some utility or find his mark onto some of the defenders. Keeping in mind the site is on the other side of the map. The Chiefs looking to sweep across, clear out this top library position. So pivotal on this bar defense, and OJ is tasked with holding that.
That's a nice little hold, and I'm not sure I've seen too often. Although those are the very little things that, you know, happen a lot probably, but you don't always quite see it happen when they make that little hold. Of course, holding top of library stairs with the shield, very common. But yeah, OJ's got a really nice sightline here. Once that wall does get opened up into office, he can obviously look straight into there, and they're not going to really be able to see much of him back Didn't quite see whether or not there's a player holding over towards Chimney with a shield as well. We do tend to see that. Boyd is over in the mezzanine area. And this is pretty standard defense right now from Roflcopter.
Body aggressive on the mezzanine, on that chimney position. Looking to link up with OJ. These two players key in wasting time. And the Chiefs historically have struggled with this particular part of the map. And they're struggling again. The shield stands. The shield does not fall with 45 seconds left. They do find a pick though, but OJ trades it back. That's the strength of this position.
Yeah. I don't know why Digital's pushing out there, though, when they haven't cleared the shield. They haven't cleared top of library. And then a second player in Fisher Guy makes the same mistake as well. Well, it's not necessarily a mistake. It's just a bit of a blunder, but it's well played from OJ. Holds his position despite pressure from Chiefs, knowing that, hey, this shield's still here. I don't need to leave. I can, of course, play this perfectly. He's done just that. Probably almost gets a third there. Worthy at half health. Drops down the mezzanine, down onto the next floor. But there's only 12 seconds left. Looking for that bar plant. OJ is just playing this perfectly. The library stairs position. Hotshot will catch out Vast, obviously down on the floor. And now it's a 1 versus 3. Hotshot will finish it off. Well played, Roflcopter.
Yeah, that was actually super solid there from Roffle. OJ in particular, just using and abusing that deployable shield. It was at the point there where that grenade flew in, and I was thinking, oh yeah, the shield's going to get taken down. OJ can just fall back. But unfortunately for the Chiefs, the shield stands, and OJ makes his final stand as well. He looked at the timer and went, lads, I'm just going to stay here. There's no reason for me to fall off just yet. He did just that. Holds on for his team. A really solid round there from Roffle and the Chiefs. Those issues of time management and utility clearance are just slowly starting to creep their way in.
And that's, yeah, 100% spot on, right? Like, it's the util clear. It's that shield. That shield's got to go down, right? So the objective usually for bar games is the attacking team, clear out top of library, clear out the mezzanine, get control of library, and then play from there. Whether it's going to be a drop-down hatch and, you know, shooting Bonanza, or you go into bar, yeah, that's up to you. But the idea is to, you know, do all of that and do it pretty quickly for the most part without losing any players. And to just see sort of Dig walking out onto the mezzanine like that, not even looking towards top library after it hadn't been cleared, maybe that's also a bit of miscommunication as well. So we won't ponder on it too much. It's a really, really good start so far in Roflcopter. Remembering, they're on the defense here for Chalet. Now, they are going to choose to go down to the basement, from what I had a quick glimpse of, rather than kitchen. So typically teams at SI were choosing the kitchen site, and then they were holding above in Master Office, and that was how they were playing it. And it actually worked usually quite well.
Yeah, statistically speaking, basement not great, but again, has been a decent period between stage 1 and 2 where these teams have been able to watch VODs, do their own dry runs, and come up with new strategies. For example, the Clash has been brought to the table here, as well as the Mute Mozzie combo. So we're assuming that Roffle are playing quite aggressive off-site here, and the Chiefs propelling up to Library are thinking about looking to clear that out. Probably a wise decision. Once you get top floor, first floor control of Chalet on this objective, you can establish a lot of vertical lines of sight, assuming, of course, that your rotates are being covered with flank watch, and that seems to be the approach that the Chiefs want to take. But as you can see, Bouncing up above on that Mozzie is wasting a lot of time, is chewing away slowly at these drones and making life difficult.
Right now, it's all on the Chiefs to turn things around. Roflcopter can just basically keep on keeping on. They don't have to adjust, really. I do like the Clash as well down for basement. Chiefs, of course, are going to roam clear above in the second floor, then first floor, and then eventually push in. And the one thing about, you know, this basement site is once you sort of do this roam clear, there's so many different angles of attack, and that is what makes it difficult for the defense and why it's so important to have roamers. That's why we're seeing Bouncing right now in Master Bedroom, second floor. He'll come in late game, and if Chiefs have sort of missed him in the roam clear, he is going to cause a bit of concern.
Yeah. Good reposition there for Bouncing, using one of those hacked attacking drones to gain intel over towards Mezzanine. Worthy needs to be careful that he does not get caught off guard. Nitro Cell heads it out, creates a rotation hole, but Bouncing doesn't quite catch that Lion. Worthy is still jumping around. bit of a standoff on this top floor, a bit of action down below as I believe Fisher is trying to open up the garage as well. It's been quite split here from both teams so far. Not quite time for the execute, but Bouncing, it's time for him to get the first.
Yeah, and here's the difference right now in this particular round. In fact, maybe just the difference overall for the matchup here in the first 3 rounds. Fast gets one back, at least tying things up 4 versus 4. Fisher guy giving a slight advantage. Unfortunately for Bouncing, his run comes to an end here, but OJ is still alive on that clash, pulls out the gun and finds a kill. Now running out of teammates, and well, he is basically running for his life. Not going to make a difference. He is, of course, trying to just slow them down so that they can't get back on site to plant it. But yeah, not going to happen here. Nice little... He turns around to put the shield on his back. But yeah, I mean, look, it's all for the theatrics here. Look at that. It's cool. But round win for the Chiefs.
It's like everyone was running in slow motion that he had also captured in the range of the clash shield. That was honestly a little bit scary, right? If there was a couple of seconds on the board, the Chiefs literally wouldn't have had time to pick up the diffuser and get back in towards the site. But at the end of the day, they made it work, and Bouncing put up a great effort for Rofl on the roam. I thought he was really going to be the linchpin there. I thought he was going to be the one to be the standout, be the winner of that round for Rofl, but it wasn't quite enough.
Full credit to the Chiefs there for withstanding that, because I thought, again, Roflcopter actually played that pretty well. Bouncing with a good roam above. Just only got the one. Maybe could have got more. Maybe could have been a little bit more disruptive, but I think he ultimately did his job, and that's, you know, he did his part. And basically, the guys on site probably just didn't win their battles, right? Didn't win their ones, and that allowed Chiefs to get on site and end up getting that pretty hefty advantage. And even the clash kind of worked out, but the problem with the clash is if you end up just standing there in the corner and then watching your teammates die, well, you see at the end, there's not much you can actually do to sort of salvage the last, 10 seconds or so. Good opportunity, though, for the Chiefs now to build some momentum from this. We do head back upstairs to master bedroom and office, where we'll see if Chiefs can rectify this second floor play a little bit better, because that's where they've been, well, a little messy.
Some slightly more aggressive lines of sight created in the bathroom floor here by the defense. We saw the Chiefs try and take control of below last time. In fact, there's also lines of sight in the closet as well, down towards kitchen and that hallway as well. So Rofl making a conscious effort to try and, I guess, counter the playstyle of the Chiefs, who were attempting to take control below the objective last time. I'm not sure whether or not they'll do the same here, but Digital's pathing, me, would suggest that may well be the case if he decides to smack open that garage, as well as God Legion plus West Main. So I do like the adaptation from the defense, and the attack, of course, needs to be careful they aren't caught off guard by those angles.
Cover me! Reloading!
See what Ditch can do from below. Vast will get the opening pick, though, who we were watching before, as usually is as soon as you get off, and then he finds the kill. It is an opening kill for the Chiefs. And they use this advantage, though, to their benefit. It'll being a bit of a nuisance down below on the sledge. There's his drone above, get as much information as possible. Campo's got to be careful that he doesn't eventually get pinched, which I think Boydie might be. If Vast is continuing to hold his angle, then he must have information that Boydie is inside of the hot tub.
Yeah, you would think so, but the Chiefs need to start actually pressuring Boydie. They want Vast to get into this round. Boydie has to be forced to move, and so far that hasn't really been the case. I guess you could make the argument that players like Bouncing on the roam, for example, are making it tricky to enter in towards kitchen. You can see Digital not willing to just jump straight in towards that trophy window. And Worthy only now starting to think about Solarium control, so quite awkward for the attack, not quite being able to achieve the objectives that they want so far, but plenty of time to go, a minute in fact, and Worthy can start to get aggressive off the back of that E1D. There is a player to his left, but no more. Disintegrated by Digital with the nade. Bouncing does poke his head up, finds the trade onto God Legion last seen over towards West Main, but the Chiefs do have the man advantage.
Yeah, and they've still got quite a lot of utility available too. Flashes, smokes, nades as well. Digital now repelling over towards that bedroom window. Fisher guy at Worthy with Solarium control, but they still haven't dealt with Boydie inside of the bathroom. Vast now making his way in. Yeah, unfortunately, for a second I thought that might have been the Gemini. It's not, though. but Pouncin doesn't get the kill, and he's completely lost him. Oh no! Oh, I'm just watching it, and I even can believe it. Oh no! He has lost him. He had no idea where he went. It was like a magic trick. He just vanished.
What are they doing?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know what was funnier, the Ringa Rosie or the player reaction.
Both, guys, both.
Whew, okay, I need to compose myself. Deep breaths, deep breaths. 2-2 the scoreline. Bar Gaming will be the next objective. The Chiefs on that last occasion doing a good job clearing those players below. They were causing a couple of issues, but they systematically were able to take them apart, and that's what you want to see. Attackers reacting off one another, reacting off the intel that they gather, and able to efficiently trade out picks. That's the name of the game. And now the name of the game is more so going to be in the YouTube part, Jake. Remember last time, right? Top library stairs, that shield just did not want to fall. It was glued to the ground. No matter what the Chiefs tried to throw at it, it did not falter. OJ could play that position to a T. And the Chiefs will be looking to well and truly tidy up that mistake and get that shield taken down ASAP.
Which is surprising, right? Because, and I think we should very much convey that usually the shield does fall. Usually, you know, you have a couple of ADSs with it, you end up unloading quite a lot of utility at the top of library stairs to get rid of it. The fact that it didn't fall at all for that entire round is the anomaly. Like, you know, it is not the norm, it is the exception. So you're kind of expecting the Chiefs to be able to rectify that, improve on that, get rid of that shield. That makes that top of library stairs a little bit more difficult to hold. They've also got to deal with the player at Chimney. There's no second shield over towards Chimney, unless I missed it. No, there isn't, because there's only the one shield. So that's a little bit interesting, because it makes that Chimney position a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, good. That said, though, that Chimney position only really becomes important once the top library stairs shield is taken down. So I guess if Rofl can prevent that from happening, doesn't really matter either way. Players to look out for, though, for the Chiefs, as to who's going to take down this ever-important shield. Probably looking at the likes of Fast, he has 2 nades, Digital 2 nades, God Legion as well with the Zofia has the utility to burn those ADS devices, and there should only be 3 ADS devices, so that's 3 projectiles and maybe 2 to 3 magnets, so that's 6 total. Plenty of tools that the attack can tap into to clear this out. I guess the Sawyer gates as well actually add a little bit of a curve into that. One of those gates could burn a piece of utility as well.
Probably Gemini that, right? Like, that's probably
sure
what you would want to do with the Sawyer gates. Because you're right, though. It is usually... the best part about them is that they're basically utility burners more than anything to just try and open them up. But you can send the Gemini in. Probably not for this top library stairs window. Also for the main walkway closer to piano.
There you go. Right on cue.
Thank you.
Well played, Fast. I'm sure you're sighing a big sigh of relief that you were correct with your analysis.
I always knew what I was talking about. He's going to be deployed.
That's all I rubbish. I wish I could use stronger language.
Now, they're trying to get rid of the shield here, guys. We'll see if they can execute it properly this time, and they do. But there is a kill back. God Legion dies for it, worthy at least able to trade. And they clear out OJ at the top of the library stairs. So, this is much better from Chiefs. But it goes back to that time management. There's only 45 seconds left.
Yeah, straight away, shield down, OJ down. That's the perfect result. Hot shot at the front door, tries to find a pick with a Nitro Cell, but Digital stays alive, but his teammate does not. Or actually, rather, that was Hot Shot himself. So not his teammate, his opponent. Does give Chiefs the advantage with 30 seconds left. This isn't necessarily the easiest of executes. This position in bar stock from Campo, very, very powerful. A player that needs to be cleared as Fast gets lit up. In fact, he gets taken down. Only 15 seconds left now.
Yeah, it's a strong position because he's got so many different sidelines. You can even look up into libraries, watching that big window run in. That's going to be Pressure Guy inside of the smoke now, planting on the thermite, but he gets eliminated, so he's out. Gone, Campo, job's done for Barstock, and that's going to be...
they line up.
Charlie Boydie, though, he actually ended up taking out Campo himself. Well, that was a little messy towards the end, but Roflcopter still come away with the win.
Wow, that went 0 to 100 real quick, as Siege often does, but in the end, Rofl hold on. They almost lined up. I literally thought the line was going to go pop, pop. Worthy was going to find those two, but not quite in the end. Really have a huge impact. I mean, sure, he did deny the diffuser. That actually is a huge impact, but then was team killed. That's why you don't take your position out. That's why you don't move outside of bar stop, because it is a bit of a safe haven on that objective, and it was either his teammate popping in the head or probably the opponent. Either way, though, it doesn't matter. Rof will take the round and now take the lead, and they'll look to extend that. If they can extend their lead on the defensive half of Chalet, that is really impressive.
Well, this is already a win for Roflcopter because they've gotten to 3 on the defense side of Chalet. So, and as you're saying, if they can now extend it to 4, that's obviously a real win, a big win. 3-3 is a half. I still would give them props for that rather than just like a bit of, it's not a draw. Like, you're kind of expecting Chiefs to be able to go, say, 4-2 on the attacking half in Chalet. Easier said than done. It's not as easy as like, well, they should get 4 attacking rounds. Like, yeah, Roflcopter's playing some really good defense right now. And Chalet's not, you know, impossible to defend. It is just slightly attacker-sided. That's all. It's just slightly. And when you're at this sort of level of competition, you know, every round's very different. We are going to see Kitchen, though, for the first time. So expect to see a lot of the defense, though, being upstairs in master bedroom and office. And that's why we're seeing everything get reinforced up here.
Interestingly enough, we are not going to see Mirror bought on this occasion. Kaid and Valk were banned out, so the mirror is available. And of all the objectives that we may see a mirror on Chalet, it is this one, used to increase the lines of sight that are generated up above, but instead Rofl electing for a slightly more aggressive lineup. Bouncing on the Vigil, for example, quite aggressive. We also made the argument that the Frost is quite aggressive as well, placing down those traps and creating lines of sight with the shotgun, and also with the shield in hand as well.
That was a Gemini.
I almost thought that was not a Gemini, but yeah, why would Fastest run straight in? That would be a little bit silly. And of course, it was a Gemini. Shut down, though, limiting some of the information gathering here for the Chiefs. They're looking to try and take from library across, quite common in regions such as North America, for example. So nothing really standing out so far as being wild. The action will really come down, I think, to this position that Bouncing's holding. This is where we often see the attack get quite easy access to that wall or that hallway into Piano, for example, and inside of office. But then it starts to get really challenging, and it's already being made hard. Bouncing does not make it easy.
Wow.
And Fisho is dropped, and that's the hard breacher, the one and only hard breach for the attack taken off the board, and that is absolutely devastating.
Good luck to the Chiefs now. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's going to make things so difficult in terms of being able to take control of office and master bedroom. Now you've lost Worthy as well. Just more from a player's perspective, right? It's 3 versus 5. So if I'm the Chiefs, now I just go straight onto site. Like, that's all you can really do. Try and clear out site. But the problem is you don't have control above. So for Roflcopter, they can now stay above bedroom and office, blow open all of the floors, and look down below onto site. So Chiefs have got themselves a tough task here, because they now can't really get control above, and that's why we're seeing them below.
Yeah. Big round for Bouncing so far, and now he's in the power position, as you mentioned, lines of sight down below. And it should really be a case of just shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, the attack don't even have the diffuser at the moment. Digital does find one with the frag grenade, but Goldlich has to win this. He does. He had to win that, and he does. Hotshot OJ in the 2v3.
40 seconds left on the clock, and somehow Chiefs are managing the unimaginable. Hotshot has held his position inside of Dining. OJ comes up big, as he usually does, and has been doing so far on Chalet. God Legion with diffuser in hand. Partner in crime Bast is with him. That, this time, is not a Gemini. He goes down for good. They've got the numbers advantage, the Nitrocell, to finish him off. And God Legion knows the task is quite great here. One behind Dining, and there is a player over to his left. He does have the information, but he's running out of time. Trying to just clear things out, create something here. A bit of chaos, a bit of magic from God Legion. 5 seconds left. He does have the diffuser, will have to stick it. OJ's gone down into basement. He now has to come back up. Does have a Nitrocell here, and he will be able to stop. No, oh, he's gone straight past God Legion. There's an opportunity that has presented itself here for the Chiefs. God Legion does it. Oh, a capitulation to end the first half from Roflcopter. God Legion is pumped, and then so are the Chiefs. Well, that is the sort of replay that you would want to watch over and over and over again. But for those who have got large replay files, what better than to put it on an SSD? Samsung, of course, have been
That was good.
amazing presenting partners here for the Oceanic Nationals. You can check out their latest range of NVMe SSDs by simply typing !SSD in Twitch chat. What a round for the Chiefs to win, guys. It really does feel like RoflcopterGG should have come away as winners. They couldn't. That's full credit to God Legion and the Chiefs.
Yeah, look, I hope the Chiefs don't run out of tricks too soon, like you might run out of plugs, because you're going quite deep into the strap book so far, and the Chiefs seem to be going quite deep in their mechanical skill book, if there even was such a thing. That was such a great round there from God Legion, absolute beast, and yeah, can't complain about that. And I think I might know the secret to God Legion's success. His mum, in fact, actually made a really cool tweet earlier tonight, so shout out Mother Bear. I know you're definitely watching. Thanks for supporting the stream. Ramen noodles and sushi from Uber Eats was on the tables for tonight. So if you want to be good at Siege, ramen and sushi is apparently the secret recipe.
Surely a future potential sponsor, you know, and just a little nudge there, Raven, you know, come on, hook us up, or Dev, whoever's in charge these days, I don't even know. I feel like I'm going to end up being in charge one day.
No, I hope not.
I hope not as well. 3-3, it's been a fascinating night for Oceanic Nationals, though, guys. We had a 7-5, 7-5, and now we've got another close one. They've all been close without going to overtime, though. We'll see, maybe this one could be different. RoflcopterGG on the attack now. Chiefs on the defense. I think to summarize that first half, I think RoflcopterGG probably still a little bit more happy than the Chiefs here. Boydie is just being a nuisance here as they look to open up this office wall.
Gemini gets sent out. Boydie scouting ahead. Will ping out that deployable shield. God Legion in the power position, and rightfully so. He deserves to play in this position after that huge clutch in the last round to close out the half. More drones will get sent out here by Roffle. It's a bit of an awkward breach here, in fact. They will need to vault in towards the objective, which could make things a little bit more challenging. God Legion over towards the mezzanine, over towards this front balcony, rather. Trying to find a pit, trying to find something. He does deal quite a bit of damage there to OJ. No one from the Chiefs really able to support God Legion at the moment. He's all alone, isolated from the rest of his team. Vast will come across to try and help on the cross. But it's easier said than done. On the flip side, though, the attack not really able to clear this player out.
Yeah, not just yet. God Legion, though, is taken very low. There's the swing coming in from Boydie. Advantage RoflcopterGG, 50 seconds on the clock. OJ's low though, and Boydie's at about half health. So is Digital. Just holding over towards Piano. 40 seconds now. Time down here for RoflcopterGG.
Fast. Maybe missed drone there. Difficult to tell. Either way though, he'll hold this position over towards Piano. Was he droned out? That's the question. I think the answer is probably not. OJ taken down. It's a 4 versus 4. Keep in mind, the objective is down below. Boydie swings to trade it back. Roffle with the man advantage, but they did falter in the previous round.
10 seconds. We're into red time now, 3 versus 4. Don't mention previous round in front of Boydie. He's got 3, gets shut down by Digital, but it's straight back. Big round for RoflcopterGG. This time they do not falter in the final clutching moments. And they will retake the lead.
It's a good bounce back there from Roffle as we have a look at the replay. God Legion put up a great stand. In fact, there was only 50 seconds left once he was taken down. But it wasn't quite enough in the end. The rest of the team did fall apart a little bit. And Boydie went absolutely huge with the ARX. Cannot fault him on that. Bar Gaming, my favorite site on the map, will be up next on the platter.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I actually did not know that. I'm being generally serious here.
No, I actually love it.
Yeah.
I think it's, I think ever since we saw teams innovate on this site in particular and do that extension above on library, sure, you can make the argument that it can get a little bit repetitive, a little bit tedious. I do think it's really fun to watch. It's quite creative. And
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
sure it will only innovate over time.
And I'm sure maybe at some point, probably by next year, we'll be like, oh yeah, here we go, top library shield. Mezzanine hold. It's the same thing. But, you know, for now, it's pretty fun and pretty cool. I actually really like Kitchen now. Originally, when Chalet came, you know, into the competitive map pool and we started looking at things, I thought, oh, well, this site isn't great at all. But the way that teams have innovated on it has actually been very fascinating. And I think there's a bit more playability to how it does end up playing out, more than even, say, Bark Gaming. But it looks like we are going to see the Goyo instructed to place these shields. There's actually 3 shields available because you've also got the Echo as well. So one shield, which is the Vulcan shield, over towards Chimney at the Mezzanine, and then the one over towards top library stairs. And something we haven't had really tonight, guys, which unfortunately has popped up this very impromptu time, is a bit of a rehost here, as we can at least look at the beautiful faces of RoflcopterGG for the time being. Bouncing and OJ, they are in the dark. OJ quite literally looks like he's in space.
Yeah, I remember watching last night. He did actually have the back illuminated, so he's a man of the night this evening and embracing the darkness. So OJ is definitely a true gamer. Bouncing as well, even Boydie as well to some extent. And yeah, both teams looking pretty cool, calm and collected. I mean, that's the thing. These teams will be used to rehost every now and again. It's just a part of the game. It's part of the pacing. You're gonna be used to it. So keep your spirits high. That's the important thing. Digital talking a bit of smack. I would love to get some player mics. Hopefully one day. Whether or not that be after the fact or live,
they've
I don't
got
care,
mics.
But
You mean player comms?
Be able to hear them. Yeah, hear the mics. that'd be good. I want a compilation of Digital's best calls throughout the season.
I feel like, obviously during, you know, live gaming moments, probably not ideal, but like maybe during replays or something, or a little after segment, that'd be kind of cool. Or maybe we could, oh, you know what we could do is we could hire a lip reader.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Well, of course it's a thing.
Wait, what do lip readers actually do, though? Like, who hires a lip reader? Serious question. Like, for crimes or something? I don't even know.
Either way, bringing this one back on track here in this matchup, I think we're seeing both teams basically going toe-to-toe, which is probably more so good signs as we come back to us for a little bit here. For RoflcopterGG, probably more so than Chiefs. Expectations, I think, for Chiefs are a little bit higher, and I think that's fair to say, especially on the attack first half. They let things slip a little bit. 3-3, God Legion coming up clutch in that final round. Did change things slightly, but RoflcopterGG already with some good signs in their attacking half as well.
Yeah, it is still difficult, I think, to split these teams at the moment. It has been quite close, and probably closer than we anticipated. I mean, you even called me out in the pre-show. You're like, guys, stop trying to make this sound close. But here we are. It is quite close at the moment, funnily enough. And honestly, I think I was probably putting a bit of magic on it. I didn't think that Roffle, especially after yesterday's performance, actually going to do this well. But here we are, the Chiefs. Not looking overly comfortable in a couple of these rounds, but at the end of the day, we can't make assumptions as to which way it's going to go, and still a while in this matchup. Could be, I don't know, however many rounds still left. So
I think for the Chiefs, it's just about finding a bit of consistency in their approach here in this match. It's been a little up and down. Had some pretty good highs, but also some pretty low lows. You know, looking back to that particular round where RoflcopterGG, OJ playing that top library stairs position and Digital just walking into the mezzanine. Those are some pretty low lows that you don't expect to see from a top team that, won OCN last stage, but then some pretty good highs as well. God Legion cool in those clutch moments. So for RoflcopterGG though, in terms of what they've been doing well, it's a team effort from them, and that's sort of becoming a bit of a theme here from some of these teams that maybe in previous iterations and previous seasons did maybe rely on one or two players in particular, have realized the best teams, the Knights of the world and the Elevates, for instance, are very evenly spread across the board. You need all 5 members, contributing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Knights is the best example after tonight, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. 100%. You need to be a well-rounded team, and every player needs to put in a solid performance, and no one is really carrying anyone. Honestly, on either of these teams, both the supports, the entries, etc., are doing their jobs for the most part. Not at a majorly highly consistent level. There's definitely been mistakes made across the board, but at Siege, that's inevitable. It's an incredibly complex game. But yeah, the point is no one is carrying the entire team.
No.
For either of these rosters, which is always fun to see when it's closely matched like this. this is when you tend to see better siege because everyone's sort of playing their own role.
So we get back in after the rehost. 8th round coming up here very shortly. Unfortunately, this does mean those stats do reset. KDAs, guys. Digital was popping off. 10 and zip. Can you believe it? Wow.
I thought it was 15. No.
15, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Defenders, protect your
Well, it's up to the Chiefs now on the defense here to respond. They are going to go to Bar Gaming, of course, and reset up the way they were going to do so before. Worthy on the Goya. It's going to go place a shield over towards the mezzanine. They do have the option of the deployable shield from Digital if they want to put that top library, or they want to put the Vulcan shield from Worthy. So they're going to have, 3 shields basically to play around with here, which might actually be one too many, or one more than you would actually need.
Yeah, well, they're placing the one chimney, one top library, but they are placing that third default deployable shield actually inside of that Sawyer gate facing in towards Piano. That, alongside those aggressive reinforcements from Fouché, would suggest that the Chiefs will try and get in the face of Rofl a little bit more.
So they've also got the Vulcan shield over at the half wall along with a bunch of ADSs, so they haven't got a shield at all top library. This is very aggressive.
Yeah, often the defense will just freely give the attack that side of the map. I mean, we saw that earlier when Rofl were holding this objective. They allowed the Chiefs to take the bedroom side. Hold that thought for a second. Bounce it. Yeah, engagement there. But on this occasion, the Chiefs... Oh, bouncing, let me say my point. The defense is trying to get aggressive in the face of these attackers on the other side of the map. It doesn't quite work out for Vast, but assuming that the pressure can be reapplied on bedroom, it should slow down this attack.
OJ will find the opening pick. Well, sorry, not the opening pick, the second pick to capitalize on the prior opening pick. 5-3. Roflcopter and their attack is proving to be honestly incredible to watch, and an opportunity to go up 5-3 here against the reigning OCN champions on Chalet and punish them for a bit of a lackluster attack. This hasn't really worked out as well as they would have liked.
Flores in play. Campo uses the first to destroy that deployable shield facing inside a Piano. Circles second.
Oh, look at that. It's going to get all 3.
Take out 3 pieces, utility, 2 ADS devices, and a Vulcan shield. So well played by him. And guess what? He still has 2 in the pocket. So that shield at Chimney is under threat. Anyone holding the top of library stairs also in trouble as well. So it's been a good round so far from Rofl. Still a long way to go. There are a couple of positions in sight that are quite difficult to clear out. Just need to get the job done.
Chiefs just need to start finding a couple of picks here. They are getting overwhelmed and swarmed. Drones galore as well. God, Legion. They've still got one final Vulcan shield over towards Chimney at the mezzanine, and this can at least buy some time here for the Chiefs with 40 seconds on the clock to be sort of one last deterrence of Roflcopter's attack forward. But OJ, the good angle, doesn't even care about the shield. Headshot into God Legion. And unfortunately for the Chiefs, 2 versus 4 with 30 seconds left, not ideal.
It's up to Digital and Worthy to put up a final stand. Digital goes prone, and that does not favour him well for this engagement, but he still wins out against Campo. Immediately traded though Boydie from above to find that pick. And talk about above, Worthy is going to go for a retake. No one's watching drones for the side of the attack, so they could well be caught off guard. Worthy goes to drop, goes for the flick, but he doesn't find either. Rofl win the round.
Just wonder if he went a little early there. Could have, honestly, could have played that differently, but I mean, that's the benefit of hindsight, isn't it, really? So it's always difficult in that clutch situation, guys, when you're making decisions on the fly. Can't blame him too much there. Chiefs drop yet another round, 2 in a row now to Roflcopter, who are, I guess, maybe showing us what we probably expected from Chiefs attacks here on Chalet, in which they weren't able to replicate what Roflcopter is now putting out here, and which is a very impressive attacking performance. Back over to Master, Bedroom, and Office with his 9th round, and Roflcopter now in the penultimate round, they get an opportunity to get match point against the reigning champs.
Yep. Big storyline that. The Chiefs haven't even talked about that yet. They literally won stage 1. And again, OCN showing that results can be volatile. Again, this map not decided, but the fact that Rofl, not one of the strongest teams in the comp, and so far in stage 2, finding things a little bit tricky after losing yesterday, are well and truly taking it up against the champions of stage 1. Rofl on the favoured side of the attack with a 2-round buffer at the moment. One more round, as you mentioned, Jake, will be enough to secure them some points given the new OT format. So it's a very, very critical round for both teams.
It's very different coming back 6-3, down 3 match points versus a 4-5 scoreline, for instance. It's a completely different ballpark. I mean, a 6-4 scoreline we've seen actually so many times teams are able to sort of win quick 2 in a row and send it to OT. Roflcopter looking very formidable. Chiefs just on the ropes a little bit. Can they fight back? And Vulcan Shield is blown up pretty early on in the piece, 2 minutes, and this is the difference between the two teams right now. Oh, that's nicely done from the Rotero drone. It's pretty easy for Vast to be able to shoot that early and just went right under his feet. And that's both shields gone at 2 minutes, Scuzz.
Yeah, really good start here from Campo, showing why Flores is so potent at the moment. But Vast, wow, okay, that's a decent shot. Campo taken down. Damage already done on that side of the map, but the Chiefs at least now have the man advantage, and Vast is not backing down without another fight. OJ gets lit up on the cross as well, and it's Vast with the DMR to close him off. It's a 5v3 now, and the Chiefs look to come out and come back here on Shallow.
You know, 15 seconds on the clock. Chiefs need to be able to close this one out. They've got the prime chance. Hot shot, good shots back. It was taking them to his legs. Vast finding the kill onto Bouncing. And yeah, hot shot, it's just all coming undone here. Vast has gone and got a quad. Can he go and find the ace now onto Boydie, the remaining player here for Roflcopter? On that piano shield. But where is Vast? That's the real question. Oh, peeks. Oh, he loses it. Boo. You can't boo him for getting a kill. Yeah, it's too much to do here for Boydie. I mean, and full credit to obviously continue to try. He's got no reason not to, but too much to ask of him in this scenario. What was essentially a 1 versus 5, now 1 versus 4. 24 seconds, finally picks up the diffuser, has literally no health. Good game sense to actually know that there's that player there. But what was that for Vast?
That was savage.
What? Some little jabs from Digital as well. Okay.
I'm liking the vibes that they're giving off. That's why I wish I could hear what they were saying, because it looks like they're having a fun time. And I mean, if you're not winning in an official, sometimes it can be tough to bounce back and can be, you know, difficult to look at the positives. So it's awesome to see that the Chiefs off the back of that round are looking quite positive and ready and raring to go, because we could still have quite a marathon ahead of us on this map, presuming we end up going to overtime, or even just to get to regulation will be a few more rounds, which can be quite an extended period of time in Siege. Kitchen dining, though, that's the next objective to be attempted here by the Chiefs, the 6th pick as well. They're on the Vigil from God Legion. Put out a bit of a spicy tone.
Yeah, and as I was saying before, 4-5 versus 6-3. It is a stark contrast between the two score lines, for obvious sakes. Even if Roflcopter now win this round in particular, get the match point, 6-4 is not too unachievable for Chiefs to come back from. So they've got themselves right back into this. I mean, they were never really out of it though, either. They are, of course, a top team and deserve all the respect that they can come back from these unfavorable positions. And Roflcopter's a team that, of course, deserve the respect to be able to go on and win from the position that they found themselves in, up 5-3. I don't know if it would be a choke to lose from here. I think when it's the Chiefs coming after you guys, it's a little bit of a different story. So we'll see what the Roflcopter's got, though, to see if they can close this one out.
Well, they are the champs for a reason, and Chalet was in fact the map where they took the cup in stage 1. Definitely wouldn't be a throw by any stretch of the imagination if Rofl were to let this one slip away, but still got the impression that this is quite a close matchup. Unfortunately for Campo, the first of those Terror drones, the Flores drones, unable to really have much of an impact. The second one, though, will head out quite quickly. No shield at the top of library stairs as previously seen, but there is some barbed wire, so that's something.
And for the first time maybe in a couple of rounds, it really does feel like that sort of stalemate between the two teams. Well, it's not 5-5 in terms of the overall scoreboard. It is a very close affair, and it matches really the night as a whole when we look back at the prior results, 7-5, 7-5, now being 4-5. It has been a very close night. And if any of the games were to have gone to OT, right now I'd say this one's the most likely of them. Bouncing, though. Nice early pick onto Fisher Gate. And this is where we see what Roflcopter's made of, because Chiefs are obviously going to give it their all to get back into this, to tie up the scoreboard. But if Roflcopter can just keep them at arm's length, get to this match point, and then they've got their chance to be able to close it out. Bouncing is just on a mission right now. Hunts down Digital inside of the kitchen, but above Gold Legion answers back from bedroom through the hatch. With a minute left, it's 4 versus 3. Never mind, 3 versus 3. Worthy takes out Hotshot.
A pause in the action as OJ gets lit up. Can only assume that was from above the vertical angle. Very difficult to contest. The Chiefs try to hold on. Campo going for the plant. Left of screen fast. Hears it. Thinks about the drop, but he doesn't need to. God Legion supports from above. The diffuser is not stuck in the end. And they fall apart. The Chiefs take the round.
And they may eventually take more than that if Roflcopter's not careful. What is Digital doing? Look, this is what you expect from the Chiefs. And from Bouncing, though, we expect good things too. And he delivered more than he needed to. A 5-on-3 advantage from that point. Obviously, very shortly after, we saw the trades back to the Chiefs, which made it 3 versus 3. And then they were able to win out in the clutch scenario. There's a real opportunity that Chiefs maybe close this out and we get yet another 7-5. It's either that or eventually we will get our first OT of OCN Stage 2. This is as close as it can get. 5-5, both teams throwing everything they've got at it. And I almost feel like an OT would be the deserved story that we eventually conclude with, guys.
Yeah, I feel like we so often say that. In Oceanic Nationals, a lot of these matchups end up being super tight, super exciting, and do warrant overtime. And so far, I would agree that this is probably one of those said matches. Back to bar we go, however. Again, the Chiefs electing to bring 3 shields, 2 Vulcan variants from Worthy, and a regular deployable shield from Digital. So far, it is looking like they are going for a more conservative setup as opposed to reinforcing far offsite over towards office and bedroom. They are exclusively just reinforcing off office, as we would typically see. Remember, last time the Chiefs lost 2 members early, so instead they're just going to reel it in a little bit here. And Digital, in fact, actually using that 3rd shield inside a library, so we'll never see a player posted up.
Bouncing's the player you almost look to now for Roflcopter to unlock things moving forward. And the thing is, though, you say that, but he got 2 in the last round, guys. He got them a 5-on-3 start. Do it again. This time, though, you'll have to actually fulfill it and capitalize. This is the thing as well about Chalet. Yeah, it's slightly attacker favored, but if the defensive teams set up nicely and they find a couple of opening picks, or they make it really difficult to get into the building, kind of like consulate light, then the defense can actually have a pretty decent foothold.
Upside down rappel here from Bouncing, trying to counter that deployable shield that was earlier placed by Dig. Map control slowly being gained here by the attack again. The Chiefs playing a bit more conservative allows the attack to take the side, the northern side of the map a little bit more freely. The trick now begins to reveal itself halfway through the round. Roflcopter need to start thinking about how they're going to clear these shields out. They're going to do it with Flores. Easier said than done, but it is not that hard in the end. Vast was unable to shoot that drone. Flames are now pouring out, and Vast will likely need to rotate back to its side.
It doesn't have to, but it's usually the advised play. You can still actually hold that mid portion of the top of library stairs. You don't have to sort of peek up, which is where, you know, if you do peek up, your head's going to be sticking up. You're probably going to get it taken right off. But you can still hold it in a pretty aggressive manner without the shield, because really the attackers will sense that you're not going to be holding that position. Worthy, though, with a nice nitro cell. Catches Boydie, OJ from above, but it's back. It's Digital. Nice headshot through the floor. Now it's the Chiefs with a 2-player advantage with 35 seconds to go. And when the shoe is on the other foot, can this time Roflcopter be the team to bring it back?
Oh, Bouncing sees the player inside of Mudroom, shoots through the dresser. Fast taken down. Campo, not quite sure exactly what he was trying to achieve there, but is punished by Fish. Bouncing and Hotshot with 15 seconds left to try and get the diffuser down.
15 seconds left.
And Hotshot in a 1 versus 3. Drop down, 360 no scope, not going to happen. Chiefs have got match point here on Chalet. Is that a prayer from Digital? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure if we've got him on the interview either. If we do, guys, there's going to be some questions to these end of round shenanigans. Match point, though, nonetheless, for the Chiefs. And maybe they do end up completing the trinity of 7-5s if they can win it here. Otherwise, Roflcopter will send it to OT. Right now, Chiefs have secured 1 point. Can they now secure all 3?
Well, bedroom and office will be the battlefield.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
For the 12th and potentially final round in this matchup. Would be, as you said, 3 7-5s in a row for OCN Stage 2 Playday 2. Who knows, though, whether or not that will be the case. God Legion with... Okay, this is quite the setup. So inside of the hot tub, they have a deployable shield and 3 ADS devices. That cross can be covered deep from that rappel, I guess, on the exterior of the library stairs on that little balcony to the top left of the screen. But you still need to be able to pressure that player out of that hot tub. So who knows if they will be able to achieve that. Roflcopter, of course, that is.
To locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah. Very interested to see how this round in particular plays out, because the stakes really have amped up to another level. The Chiefs want all 3 points, and Rof want to bring this match to overtime.
Well, yes, they do. That's it. You're spot on.
Thank you.
Great analysis. It definitely feels like all the momentum right now is with the Chiefs, though. So it's up to Roflcopter to sort of, you know, break that and find a way back into this. And if they can, then I'm happy to say that, you know, going into overtime, the momentum of Chiefs will have been halted, and it's basically, you know, free for all. It's fair game. But despite being on the defense here, I very much am backing in the Chiefs to make this 7-5 off the way that they have been playing in the last couple of rounds. If someone's going to make something happen, though, it's this guy. It's Bouncing.
Inox scanner used by Bouncing will find the feet of the Mute. That lucky player is Worthy inside of Piano. Inside of Dining, though. Oh, it's the opening engagement. Whoa. God Legion, that's sharp, but it's a very sharp trade back. Hotshot with the AK-12 is able to find that pick. It nullifies this round. It's a 4 versus 4.
Yeah, and it takes Bouncing off the board as well, so he's not going to be able to disrupt those defenders above. With the scanner, And for God Legion, he would have already pre-placed those ADSs, right? So yeah, they lose a little bit of presence down below. As Campo's going to get Fisher guy out of the hot tub, at least just momentarily, as he destroys that shield. Losing God Legion's not the end of the world for the latter stages of this round. Minute 10 seconds left, 4 versus 4.
Roteros will now be sent out by Campo. And there we go, that's going to destroy all of those ADS devices, I would presume, in the hot tub. And Boydie capitalizes. Fisho dropped off screen. It's a 3 versus 3. Diffuser inside of Solarium. That's to the right of screen. No one really from the attack in a position to collect that just yet. But with 45 seconds left, the player is making their way to the top of the stairs. That's Boydie, who can swoop that up, take the Sawyer gate down. And Rofl can seriously start to communicate as to how they want to try and get this diffuser planted.
Final 30 seconds of this match point round. 3 versus 3. Could not be any closer than this. Boydie, nade, goes out. Campo's now in. Worthy still holding this position. Shotgun in hand. Over towards Piano. Nitrocell thrown into bathroom. Falls short of the mark. Boydie found a nade kill onto Digital. Advantage Roflcopter for the time being. Vasto coming up big in offers. Can he find a tag? Can he maybe disrupt this defuse going down from Boydie?
Oh,
Worthy though misses an opportunity. The wall bang takes him down. Vast goes in. Too little, too late. We've got OT on Chalet. Roflcopter tie it up 6-6.
Worthy saw him. Worthy saw the planter and flicked the other way at the last second. The Chiefs on the edge of winning the map and taking full points, but that can no longer be the case. Rofl hold on. 6-6 the scoreline. We reset.
And honestly deserved as well, because if Roflcopter had have lost that round, they would have walked away with no points, and I don't think that would have been deserved for the game that has played out here on Chalet. I think almost Chiefs would have stolen all 3 points. So at minimum, they both get 1. That's definitely deserved for both teams, because it's been, you know, an incredible 12 rounds that we've seen so far, but we are going to need potentially 3 more to decide which team gets the 2.
Kitchen we go, and Vast is finally going to bring the mirror out, so I'm keen to see this. The mirror, well, the first of those black mirrors actually being employed on the site. Rotation between the objectives. Can only assume that the second will be deployed up above in helping this extension and creating additional lines of sight in towards bathroom, for example, or office, whichever the troops would like to prioritize. So keen to see how that strengthens the defense here. In terms of the attack, a pretty standard lineup, and we are going to see Staples still brought out, the Jackal to clear the roamers, the Flores to clear the utility, hard breach as well as soft breach, so plenty of tools at the disposal of both teams.
The Chiefs back on the defense, of course, straight away, which probably fine with, because it's about, I guess in a way, keeping that defensive momentum despite losing that prior round. They were doing pretty well beforehand. First Rotero drone making its way in just to open up this wall, and does so pretty comfortably. Oh, bouncing with the opening pick. OJ opening up the floorboard. I thought for a second we were watching one of the same, but it's not. Roflcopter with an advantage. It's God Legion taken off the board early. 2 minutes to go, in fact, so super early into the round here for overtime.
Been quite a spaced out round so far. OJ and Boydie now rotate over towards Library, and I'm going to try and take this fast. Is there ready to contest behind Vulcan's shield, and also has a mirror window in support. So this is quite an aggressive mirror for this particular objective. It's not over towards bedroom. Instead, is on mezzanine. This could go one or two ways. He could be taken down cheaply, or he could really hamper Rofl's ability to take map control, and it would be the first of those outcomes. Boydie to find the pick, and Rofl with a strong advantage. Worthy looks to respond. Worthy does respond. 2 picks found.
Did they maybe just get a little bloodthirsty off the back of that kill of Vast, thinking that they basically opened up the mezzanine area and they could just stroll on in? Chiefs we're not going to allow that to happen. They had that spot covered in the event that Roflcopter were going to do just that, push into that position. OJ now takes the chimney spot. He can, of course, look into office. Spray through the wall. That's going to miss the mark, but a decent effort. Close. 55 seconds. So it's a 3 versus 3 after Rofl. And a 5 versus 3 start. Have they maybe squandered an opportunity? Gas babe out from Fisher Guy. That's decently thrown, actually, to block off that piano doorway. 40 seconds left.
Worthy now the only player above holding that position as the rest of the attack looks to try and take control from the front door. Terra will be sent in, can gain some intel and potentially try and dislodge some of this utility. I believe it was shot out, so it won't have much of an impact as the attack needs to consider the plan. It's in the hands of Hotshot. This is going to be tough.
They'll still have 3 flashes that he can throw onto site and find a way in. Although Hotshot dies, OJ gets one back. That's the trade that they needed. But a 2 versus 2 with 5 seconds left is going to favor the Chiefs always, especially with Digital in that position. Digital, show us some more moves. What have you got for us? He looks fired up. Oh, a kiss? A big smooch? No, it's a gun.
Whoa.
Jeez, hands up, hands up. Match point or overtime match point now for the Chiefs.
Good start to the round there for Rofl. They found 2 picks, one of those critically onto Vast with a strong position on Chimney, but they did get a little bit bloodthirsty. Worthy stepping up hugely on the Goyo to find 2 picks back. And Digital with the bullet hose has a field day. That Alder proving to be a menace. Chiefs with the lead. They have the attack. This should by all means, on paper, be a Chiefs win, but I don't think so.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
So, overtime match point for the Chiefs. This is their second match point of this best of 1. They did squander the first one in regulation, had an opportunity to get all 3 points. Now their opportunity is down to 2 points. Roflcopter will have to win the next 2 rounds in a row. This one on the defense and then the one after on the offense. Certainly capable. They have been impressive to watch and makes me a little surprised as their result from yesterday, guys. The 3-7 loss to LFO because they played much better today.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess, again, being best of 1s, it's a little bit more volatile. You're playing a lot more different maps. Just sometimes you rock up on the day and you're just not feeling it. Maybe you had a bad night's sleep, a couple of bad screams, whatever the case may be. 1,000 different reasons why you may not perform on the day, and that is just the case here. And I think Rofl can, regardless of the result, hold their heads pretty high. They've put up a good fight against, again, the current reigning champions of OCN. The Chiefs are not to be underestimated. I do believe that yesterday was maybe just a one-off, just a little bit of a blip on the radar, as I like to put it. But, you know, Rofl still want to win this round. They are not thinking about that at the moment. Digital, again, entering down below on the sledge. He's taking the same route as always. An awkward engagement to start things off. Shoots out over towards Bouncing, but neither player takes any damage.
Oh, I think Digital's the fortunate one to come out of that one alive there. A couple of panic shots going out. And the fact that he's obviously on the sledge as well, you want him to be in the game to when, you know, you can get a bit of control. You can open up quite a bit of that mezzanine, open up a bit of library as well with the sledge. So they're going to want him alive. 1.5 minutes though, and again, this probably comes back to the original issues for the Chiefs, that time management. You know, they've still got to clear a lot of the utility. Here from Roflcopter, the swing. Early one from Boyd. It's successful. Digital. Wow, he just can't get out of the action here. Nice play from Boyd. Took a risk, gets the reward.
Quite aggressive from Boyd, but yeah, it does pay off in the end. The Chiefs now are looking to clear this shield. OJ, remembering back to regulation, able to hold this position quite effectively, but the grenade is absolutely spot on from the Chiefs. That will force OJ back, and he needs to be careful as he rotates that the player inside of Dining doesn't cut that off. It's God Legion, but he does not. E1D flies out. Fisho capitalizes upon that and takes down Boydie. So eventually the opening pick has been traded out. Difficult to ascertain as to which team has the advantage at the moment. I think the fact that above has been cleared probably does favor the Chiefs, and with God Legion finding that kill, they do look primed and ready to take the map, but Hotshot gets back.
It's the Nitrocell elimination, but Worthy, of course, they got control of Library Stairs. Now that's a big pick from Campo, but there is another one immediately traded back. The trades have been flying out everywhere. 2 versus 1, 10 seconds. Hotshot
10 seconds to go.
inside of games. Now Gold Legion is down. Worthy is low health. This is very winnable here for Roflcopter. In fact, due to the time, it is so winnable that Worthy's got no chance of winning it. Roflcopter are going to send it to a final round. Very unconvincing round for both teams.
Milo has decided to sub in for Roflcopter, so that's a big change of events there.
What?
Milo in the bottom right.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm just that end of round was a little bit odd.
It was a bit. I can only assume that the Chiefs didn't have enough intel in towards side, and Worthy was also low on HP, so that made it quite tricky. Either way, that's the result in the end. 7-7 the scoreline, and now the Chiefs statistically find themselves on the unfavored side. That said, in this matchup, it has been quite even, and the defense actually has been holding out all right. So can't look into the numbers too deeply. Digital 6 picking onto the Clash.
Ooh.
That is a very, very big call to make in the final round of this map.
On bar games as well, where do you position the Clash? Usually on Chalet, if you're going to be picking the Clash, it's for Snow Wine. Tend to see it picked and played there a little bit, but I am wondering it, and guys, you might have the answer here as to where Digital is going to position himself.
Wow. I guess there's a lot of options. You could see the Clash play quite aggressively inside of Library. If Rofl attempt to enter from there, you could even see him extend a little bit more towards Piano and slowly fall back. I think that the mantra he will likely adopt in this round is, let's find out where Rofl are pushing from and let's just send Digital in that direction. I don't think necessarily having a pre-planned fixed position is probably the best use of that shield. Instead, play reactively or even proactively and know where the attackers are coming from. Position the Clash there to try and bleed time.
I do wonder if he could play top of Library Stairs as well, right? Based on the positioning of one of those Vulcan shields being placed over at that Piano doorway, it means that they don't have a shield at the top of Library Stairs. Well, if you don't have a shield there, why not just put your actual shield player there as well? Well, this is going to be bouncing, maybe finding an early kill. Never mind, it was Gold Legion, but Whitey found one too. Campo, this is a nice early rush from Roflcopter. It's all over. That's it. Digital is not going to be able to save the day. The round didn't even start. It's over. Oh, they have just caught the Chiefs with their pants down. Well executed from Roflcopter. Fly high with your 2 points that you have banked off the back of this win.
Whew. Wow, literally blinking, you miss it. I looked down for a second, I was sussing my notes. I was like, oh, you know, trying to think of something exciting to say. I look up and you're yelling and I'm like, what's going on? Discombobulated just as the Chiefs were, and bang, we're on the final scoreboard. Wow, what a finish by Rofl. They will be absolutely ecstatic with that result.
They certainly should be. 2 points for Roflcopter, 1 for the Chiefs based off of the OT format. Both teams putting on a bit of a show there on Chalet. But only, of course, one winner in the end. It went down to the 15th and final round, and that did not last very long. That was a very, very quick round, guys. In fact, so quick. I really didn't actually see what happened. It looked like a library rush, and they just picked up kill after kill in quick succession, and Chiefs just didn't have time to be able to react to that. Full credit to Roflcopter. Great play and deserved winners.
Yeah, I literally have no idea what happened in that last round, so I'm going to have to go back and watch the VOD for that one. Like I said, blink and you miss it. And I mean, it's great for Rofl, don't get me wrong, but it also feels like a bit of an anticlimactic finish to what was such a swinging game. It was like a seesaw, right? It started off, it was all about the Rofl, right? It was a bit sloppy from the Chiefs, their attacks went great for their utility in particular, and Rofl were like, hey, we're here to really make a statement. And then, come the change of halves, the Chiefs went, hey boys, come on, like, we're the reigning champs for a reason. Then it really narrowed down all the way to the final round, where Rofl just absolutely out of nowhere played super explosively, and managed to close it out.
I think you're just sitting there waiting to see what this final replay of the final round is going to show you for us there. Of course, prior to that was a chance for the Chiefs too when they were up 6-5 to close out in regulation. They had 2 overtime match points and couldn't close out there either. Some really good moments from the Chiefs, but ultimately also some really good moments from Roflcopter. I like this from Boydie as well. Aggression, right? You're down overtime match point and you're making that sort of play over towards the big window on the mezzanine. And yeah, this was the rush. We literally did not capture much of it at all. So it looked like it was a bar rush and a library rush at the same time, and they just picked up all of those kills in quick succession. Bouncing with 16 was, of course, a highlight. Boydie ended up coming to the fray as the game went on to 14-10, ultimately 8-7. And our first overtime as well for Stage 2 of OCN.
And what a performance there from Bouncing. +6 on the entry. Also was maining the Jackal and was gaining quite a bit of information for the team. So it's all well and good to have a passive Jackal that enters and finds feet, but to also be backing that up in the frag department, particularly the entry department as well, super duper impressive. It's really high cost as well at 93%. So he was the standout player for Roffle statistically, but again, it was a team effort. I mean, you can even look at the bottom of the scoreboard. You look at Campo, 0.51, you think, oh, he had a shocker. But just think about the impact that he was having with those Rotero drones. He was having a huge impact just on that isolated gameplay alone.
And for the Chiefs, well, they let this one slide. They did win yesterday, so now they will be on 4 points. Not the end of the world, of course. They don't necessarily need to finish first at the end of the season. This won't help, but it's not, as I said, end of the world. To be dropping to a team like Roflcopter, who, lost to LFO yesterday. So this was at least their first points. They go to 2 points now on the season after the first 2 games played, so averaging 1 point a game for Roflcopter currently. But at least they're on the board. They've gotten off that 0. I know it's only Playday 2, but it's something. And against a team like the Chiefs as well, guys, good signs ahead for them. Roflcopter actually, though, do have Knights as their next game, so maybe not too far ahead. We are going to go and have an interview, then a quick little chat, though, with OJ from Roflcopter off the back of their big win against the Chiefs. Firstly, congratulations on that win, but I do have to ask that the rush at the end, perfectly executed. That was so quick.
Yeah, so I realized that every round that we'd attacked that site, they kind of kept extending further and further off site. So it was actually my call to take credit for it, but yeah, no, we kind of just hit site. We spoke 15 seconds about it, and we was like, if we're gonna go out, we're gonna go out swinging, so we'll have a go.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear your thoughts, OJ, comparing yesterday to today, because obviously I would say that you were favoured to take down LFO. That wasn't the case, and many would say that heading into this one, the Chiefs were the favourites. So was there anything that changed between yesterday and today that allowed you to arguably perform better?
We were really dirty on ourselves for how yesterday went down. Obviously, it's a game you're expected to take, and the fashion that we played was terrible. Obviously, last season we were really confident and bold with what we were doing, and we weren't really that yesterday. So we're like, today we're just going to go for it. And yeah, I mean, obviously we threw a couple rounds we could have won, but it went both ways. So we knew we had to do more today.
You get a win against the Chiefs. While it's not all 3 points, they're still, of course, a top team, the champions from last season. Does that, I guess, lift spirits off the back of yesterday and going into the week break?
Yeah, for sure. Chiefs are definitely the team to beat. And like I said, when you're dropping points in this kind of format, the teams that you really should be beating convincingly, it can get you down a bit. I know personally I was pretty gutted by how it all went down. So, obviously we lost to them last season in the finals, so to beat them today is a, it definitely gets our season back on track.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to just leave it at that. I think you guys played really well tonight, so congratulations, and all the best against the Knights, because they're also going to be a pretty tough opponent, so good luck.
Cheers, lads. Take care.
Thanks, OJ. Well, big win for Roflcopter. They're flying high off the back of that one, taking down the Chiefs. As I said, not all 3 points, guys, but still 2 very valuable points against the Chiefs. You probably would take that at the start of the game. Of course, these teams have very good and high aspirations. They would have said, no, we want all 3 points, but let's be real. 2 points against the Chiefs. You bank that, you take it, and you move on, which, they got the Knights next. And I think that almost, you know, I hate to be a downer here, but puts a little bit back over to losing to LFO, right? Because you got such two tough matches early on in Playday 2, Playday 3. Then it really opens up a bit after that. Probably could have been in a position where you had 3 points from LFO, and then you get 2 points against Chiefs, and suddenly things looking great. Didn't work out that way, and it is, you know, the way it is and the way it plays out. Still, big result on Chalet against the Chiefs, and they look good.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. There's no point dwelling too much on previous results. I think it was good the way that OJ sort of framed it is, yes, he was annoyed and didn't like how yesterday played out, but instead of letting that dwell and, I guess, manifest into negative thoughts, instead that sort of fueled them tonight. And we saw that in the server. They played really well. It was a close matchup, and you could argue, you know, some people are going to say that they cheesed the last round, but whatever. I mean, they made the big call. Why would you go for a rush in a 7-7? Like, no one ever does that. So the fact that they did it, committed to it, pulled it off, is really impressive, and they managed to defeat their demons from the playoffs, as OJ himself said as well. So that sets them up really nicely for the rest of the stage.
We've got one more game to play out tonight before we close out the first week of OCN. Coming up, it is going to be Rhythm versus Wildcard.